Hello and welcome. Maybe you're in a season where every step feels heavy, the road ahead seems endless, and your strength worn thin like old leather. You wonder if you have what it takes to keep going. Let your shoulders drop. Take a breath. Let me tell you about a traveler and a road that seemed to have no end. There was once a man who had to cross a great distance, not by choice, but because life left him no alternative. His shoes were already worn when he began. Good shoes, once leather boots his father gave him years ago, but they'd seen him through countless hard seasons, muddy failures, sharp arguments, sleepless nights. Still, they were all he had. The road stretched out dusty plains under relentless sun, rocky paths where each step was calculated. Rain turned soil to thick mud. Nights forced him onward when there was nowhere safe to rest. With each mile, something wore away, not just the soles, but something inside: patience, hope, the belief that he could reach the end. Have you felt it? That slow erosion, when you're doing everything right step after step, but the road just continues. He passed other travelers. Some glided by. Some sat down, eyes empty. He dared not look too long, afraid he might join them. His boots cracked. Small stones slipped in. He was too tired to stop. His legs trembled at night, refused to rise with the sun. But the destination wasn't optional. He kept walking. Then came the day it all gave way. He was crossing a harsh, mountainous region. Thin air, jagged rocks, steep cliffs. First, the right sole detached, flapping uselessly. Then the left heel came apart, throwing off his balance. By midday, the boots were wrecked. Only the uppers clung to his feet. Stones bit into his flesh. He bled. But he had to keep moving. Night was coming. Exposure meant danger. So he walked on bleeding feet, step after agonizing step. Have you been there? When moving forward hurts but stopping feels worse. When he finally reached the village, he collapsed by a well. His feet shredded. His pride, too. He wept. Not just from pain, but from the weight of trying so hard for so long, with so little left to give. He sat in the dust holding fragments of cracked leather, and wondered if he could rebuild anything at all. An old woman approached. She'd been watching. She knelt beside him, hands stained with dyes and oils. "Those were good shoes once," she said, examining them. "They were my father's," he whispered. "They carried me through so much. I thought they'd last forever." She smiled gently. "Nothing lasts forever in the way we expect. That doesn't mean it failed you." She studied the wear patterns. You push forward, even when the ground tilts against you. You meet obstacles head on. He saw them differently now, not as ruin but as a record. Choices of courage. These shoes didn't break because they were weak, she said. They broke because they did their job completely. There's honor in that, she returned, with materials not fresh leather, but seasoned fragments, pieces shaped by other journeys. I could make new shoes, he said, but they'd known nothing about walking. Let me make you shoes that remember. As she worked, she told him stories. This leather had crossed deserts. That sole had climbed peaks. Another had danced through weddings. One had walked through grief. When we walk in shoes that remember struggle, she said, every step becomes part of a larger story. She worked through the night, not just repairing, but creating. When she was done, the shoes were clearly made from many journeys. Each seam told a story. They looked intentional. like a map of resilience. These shoes know how to walk on bleeding feet. She said, they won't stop you from stumbling, but they'll help you rise. When he put them on, something shifted, not just relief from pain, but recognition. His father's boots were for a different path, but these were made for him, for someone who'd kept walking through pain. The cobbler handed him a tin of oil and a cloth. They'll need care. Not because they're fragile, but because they're working shoes. They'll face weather, rocks. Where? That's not damage, it's learning. He stepped back onto the road. The same road, same steep hills, same sharp stones, but he was walking differently now. The shoes flexed with him, knew how to find footing on unstable ground, built from wisdom hard-earned. Each scuff wasn't failure, it was proof of persistence, of presence, and when he reached his destination months later, his shoes were marked, but unbroken. And he understood the goal was never to arrive untouched by the journey. The goal was to arrive carrying the wisdom of every difficult mile. The traveler learned something many of us are still learning. Being worn down is not the same as being worn out. The scuffs on your soul, those are signs you've kept walking through things that tried to stop you. Your old strategies may be falling apart. What carried you this far might not carry you further. But maybe that's not failure. Maybe that's the beginning, the start of something custom-made from your own journey. Strength that doesn't come from never breaking, but from learning how to be remade. The road ahead still wins, still rises and falls. But you don't have to walk it the way you used to. You can walk it with shoes that know how you stumble, that help you rise, that were built with the wisdom of your steps. Your worn places, they're not weak places. They are sacred, proof that you've kept going when others stopped. May you find the cobbler who shows you that your story isn't one of failure, but of endurance made beautiful. Rest well. Walk gently, and remember the road is teaching you how to travel it.